Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong attended his last cabinet meeting in his current portfolio before the handover next week. In a Facebook post, he says Singapore will be in good hands under the 4G team. Mr. Lee added that he's ready to support them in their work. He looked back on 20 years of leading the weekly cabinet meetings, even during the COVID-19 pandemic. PM Lee thanked his colleagues for their steadfast support. He will continue to contribute to meetings as senior minister. A PM Lee stepping into a new role as senior minister will help ensure continuity and stability. Current senior minister Teo Chee Hean likens the role to that of a consultant and says that it should be valued and treasured. Geraldine Yap sat down with Mr. Teo ahead of the leadership handover to find out what he thinks of Mr. Lee's continuing contribution.
How would you describe your working relationship with Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong as a senior minister in his cabinet?
We all have to work as a team. And, the affairs of state are so wide and so complex that no single person can do them on his own. It's not possible. So any PM will have to work with his team, the team that he has, and then to depend on them to get the job done for him. So that's true also of the more senior ones and those who have, say, a coordinating responsibility or as an SM. And so what we try and do is sometimes when there are issues, or oftentimes when there are issues which involve several ministries, we try and sort the issues out among the ministries and so on, get the various views. There may be different priorities, try and resolve those, and then we have a consolidated position so that we don't have to deal with every issue at the cabinet level, so that every issue, by the time we go to cabinet, we can be a bit more efficient in the way that we make our decisions. Sometimes, half-jokingly, I tell people, they ask me what do I do, I say, well, my job is to do all the things which relieve the PM from doing the things that he doesn't need to do or doesn't want to do. So,
From your own experience as senior minister, how do you see Mr. Lee stepping into the role?
I think each of the SMs has played a different kind of role, depending upon their own experience and their own field of knowledge. And it is also for the PM to decide what role he wants the SM to play. And I think Mr. Lee himself, Mr. Goh, have set good examples of what an SM should do. And both Mr. Lee was very, very respectful of Mr. Goh as the PM. So, you are now the PM, you are holding the office, you have to make the decisions and carry the can. And so Mr. Lee used to share with us his experiences, but he would say, this is from my experience what happened. These are things which you may want to consider, but you make the decision. That's what Mr. Lee used to do, and that's what Mr. Goh used to do as well. So I can imagine those kinds of discussions taking place.
And how do you think his influence is going to change?
I think he still has a lot to give to the country, but in a different capacity, in a different role. His experience, his wisdom, the contacts he's established, and the perspectives which he can share. You talk about engaging a consultant. This is the most valuable one you can possibly have, who's doing it because he's part of the team and he's really got that shared commitment together with you. And it is something which I think we're very fortunate to have in Singapore. In many countries with a transition in government, it's more often than not rocky, and you lose that continuity and stability. and you also potentially lose that experience of the previous leaders. So I think this is something which we have in Singapore, which we should value and treasure.